So there is a slight change in the way that the style of the class. It's going to be shifting over to this meditation. I'm close to retiring, so the future classes will be in Spanish. So that might not be so useful unless you want to learn Spanish and how to meditate. Anyway, so I'm just doing the intro right now. So we'll start with the standard prayers we would do in Spanish. And then I'll do a short commentary, and then Mauricio, who is going to be leading our meditations, will then lead the meditation. And maybe for this class, he could do a little bit in English, a little bit in Spanish, because he can do both, actually. And so we are starting meditation with Mauricio and Paulina. So first off, just the prayers. But remember motivation. I'd like to have a more enlightened life and be able to offer that for the benefit of others. Buscamos
refugios que alcance el despertar en el Buda, en el Dharma y en la Asamblea Suprema, que por mi práctica de la generosidad y las demás perfecciones llegue a ser un Buda para beneficiar a todos los seres. Busco refugio hasta que alcance el despertar en el Buda, en el Dharma y en la Asamblea Suprema, que por mi práctica de la generosidad y las demás perfecciones llegue a ser un Buda para beneficiar a todos los seres. Busco refugio hasta que alcance el despertar en el Buda, en el Dharma y en la Asamblea Suprema, que por mi práctica de la generosidad y las demás perfecciones llegue a ser un Buda para beneficiar a todos los seres. Que todos los seres tengan la felicidad y sus causas. Que todos los seres estén libres del sufrimiento y de sus causas. Que ningún ser se aleje de la felicidad, que esté libre del sufrimiento. Que todos los seres permanezcan en la ecuanimidad, libres del apego a los amigos y del odio hacia los enemigos. Reverentemente me postro con cuerpo, palabra y mente. Presento nubes de todo tipo de ofrendas, reales e imaginadas. Declaro todas mis acciones negativas acumuladas desde tiempos sin principio y me regocijo del mérito de los seres santos y de los seres comunes. Te ruego que permanezcas hasta el fin de la existencia cíclica y que hagas girar la rueda del Dharma para todos los seres. Dedico mis méritos y los de los demás para la gran iluminación. Esta base, ungida con perfume, cubierta de flores, adornada con el monte Meru, los 4 continentes, el sol y la luna, la imagino como un campo de Buda y lo ofrezco. Que todos los seres disfruten de esta tierra pura. Idam Gurana Mandalaka Miriyatayami.
So there's no need to translate this to right now. So I've been practicing for now 52 years. I have a regular practice I do every day. Upwards to an hour. And so it's just totally part of my life. But in doing that, if I come back to sort of what really is important, is actually getting in touch with yourself. And if we talk about, meditation, and then we go to such an elaborate thing as saying that I'm going to become enlightened, then it's really, really important. Like, enlightenment isn't something that isn't you right now. If you became enlightened, it would be within the context of the personality that you have. It's just you'd have this better understanding of yourself. You wouldn't be, let's say, feeling you're self-existent, independent, and anything you do has no consequences. You'd appreciate that you are always changing, that your actions do create consequences or effects for you in the future. And because we do have luggage, we have previous experiences, whether good or bad, though they will come up. And so then you have to learn how to deal with those. So that's where getting in touch with yourself is like massively important. And what that means though is knowing how to slow down and to be at peace with yourself. It's not like that, if your name was, you have Robert and Dennis online and my name's Jhampa. It's not like, I'm getting in touch with Jhampa. No, I'm getting in touch with who I am, like how I'm experiencing things. The label is merely temporary. For example, Robert could be called Rob, or Dennis could be called Denny, I don't know, something like that. Or, Jhampa could be Jump. So name's not what we're getting in touch with. It's sort of the whole sense of ourself. But we have motivation, which is different. So if you were doing standard mindfulness, you just sit down and you meditate and, do breathing meditation, and, you would get in touch with yourself. You would calm down and be peaceful. But what we do in Buddhism, which isn't, at least it's not overly talked about in general mindfulness presentations, is motivation. It's the creator of who you are, how you experience things. So in our sessions, the sessions that we'll do into the future, there will be, getting in touch with yourself, which is slowing down, being at peace with yourself, and then allowing things to come up within yourself and to observe them and to, if things are good, then you can say, that's nice. And if things are difficult, like some stress or some trauma, then you learn how to be peaceful with it at first, and then you learn how to change that. How would you change it? Actually, by having compassion. We sometimes say compassion to yourself, but no, you have compassion for the previous mind that somehow thought doing something negative would be successful. So the compassion, isn't oh poor Jhampa. No, you could say it's to compassion to the person who, was previously, Jhampa or whatever, who sort of thought, getting angry is going to be a really good solution to my problems, or getting manipulative, or lying, or stealing, or whatever it might be. So your compassion is to that mind which was deluded and somehow thought that would be a way of success. So that's what's called real compassion to your previous self, you could say. So slowing down, getting in touch with yourself, being at peace with yourself, and allowing things to come up, whether it's some feeling, a sensation, or a thought, or whatever it might be. And you don't go with it, you just observe it and let it go by. The example is if you're at the side of a river, you could be watching the river flow by, and so maybe you see some leaves go by and a piece of wood go by, and maybe a fish goes by, or maybe a boat goes by. Well, you don't get onto those things, you just observe them, and they will disappear. So the same thing applies to your mindfulness meditation. Now, that's what we'll be doing. Of course, in the future, we'll be in Spanish. As I say, I'm now 74 years old, so I'm going to retire a little bit. I'm going to do my personal practice. You might think, oh, gee, aren't you in touch with yourself enough? Well, there's lots of levels, and there's lots of things that maybe quite haven't been fixed or worked on perfectly yet. So, no. And one is, if you do sort of found ground, your basic ground of yourself, then you have something you can work on. I think of meditation or Buddhism really, is the ultimate creativity. You can be creative with food, you can be creative with music, you can be creative with your garden, where Buddhism is creative with yourself. And what is the creativity? Well, it's becoming more enlightened, becoming a nice person, a more capable person, a wiser person. So that's really beautiful. It's the ultimate creativity, and it's something you can take with you. So, for example, Milarepa said that normal people's friends will all disappear at some point, but my friends are my bodhicitta and my wisdom, and they go with me now into my future rebirth. So that's sort of a nice thought. So anyway, I was going to do this intro. The future classes will be in Spanish, but possibly you understand Spanish, so that's fine. So with that thought then, as a motivation, yes, I'd like to have a more enlightened life. And it's sort of nice because you say that for yourself, but if you bring to mind some people that you love, and you say, gee, I'd like to offer a better relationship to them, then there's actually a very, very special feeling that comes up. It's not special, but it's just unique compared to just, I want to become enlightened. No, I would, yes, I'd like to, but no, I'd like to offer a better relationship. Puts a little different flavor in who you are. So anyway, the meditation will be led in Spanish. So please take a comfortable posture. And our maestro for the noche, para esta noche, is Mauricio.
Do you have anybody on there speaking Spanish? Or?
I don't know, but don't worry about it.
Okay.
Well, if you want to do a little bit of English. Sure.
No, just curious. Bueno, como dijo Jhampa, bueno, no sé si entendieron, tomamos una postura cómoda para empezar nuestra meditación. Quieren que su cuerpo esté relajado, espina recta, pero también relajada. Para ayudarte a concentrar, también ayuda a tomar 3 respiros muy profundos. Y mientras te vayas sintiendo más cómodo y más centrado, puedes ir enfocando o poniendo tu atención en tu respiración, específicamente en el movimiento de tu pecho. Mientras continuamos meditando, de vez en cuando habrán distracciones como sonidos, pensamientos o una sensación en tu cuerpo. Si te das cuenta que estás distraído, es importante no molestarte o castigarte. Simplemente di que ahorita es tu tiempo para meditación y regresa tu atención a tu respiración. Mientras continuamos meditando, conforme te vayas sintiendo más centrado y más en paz, puedes ir cambiando tu atención del movimiento de tu pecho a la sensación dentro de tu pecho constante, que es aún más sutil. Regresamos nuestra atención a nuestra respiración y dedicamos el venir aquí a asistir a una clase, la meditación, la dedicamos a una vida más iluminada y lo ofrecemos para el beneficio de todos los seres.